In this video I'm going to show you how you can integrate external environments into Scineric Workspace. Scineric Workspace supports multiple ways to do this. For example, there's a Scineric plugin that you can use to sync directly with your Scineric project, or there's a different way to do it. The way to do it is to have any environment that produces a file that's supported as an input source by Scineric Workspace. And Scineric will then import those files and it will allow you to merge it with an existing design. What I'm going to show in this demo is Mentor Graphics HTML Author. I'm going to start off with importing the design from here into Scineric, and then I'm going to show how to sync changes made in HTML Author to the design in Scineric Workspace. Without going into too much detail now you set it up, I'm going to show you quickly the Scineric task in HTML Author. So if you go to the properties, it's a task that will invoke Scineric in the background, and we will pass specific arguments in a format that the HTML Author plugin will know what to do with. So you will see the library and the unit is passed. Okay, I'm going to open an example design, and this is example design is basically ready to compile. So you can compile it either using the Xilinx synthesis tool flow or the Altera flow, but for this let's focus on the Xilinx flow. So if you click on that, we'll go through, and the important thing here is to produce a script file for background, to have that checkbox checked. The file produced here is a Xilinx PRJ file, which is a known format to Scineric Workspace. Thus, Scineric will be able to pass this file and import the design. So we click OK, and we will notice that it will tell us the file was written out. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to execute the Scineric task. So that task at the top that is added to my toolbar, I can click on it, and it will launch Scineric. So if I have Scineric open, at the moment I can open it and I will notice that this wizard pops up. So it will ask me, I'm importing the example design, if I want to add it to the existing project or just open it without the project. I'm going to do the second option, and it will give me details. So you can enter all your design details, your vendor, library, name, version, etc. and you can go ahead. So because you're doing it the first time, we're going to create a working folder. Notice the working folder is specified by our database, which is a HTML design, and this HTML design, and our design type is a firmware design. So for now I'm going to go to next, and this is the firmware preprocessor, which allows you to preprocess a script file, do different things with it. And I'm not going to go into too much detail about this. There's a blog post on what this preprocessor can do for you, but for now we're just going to go ahead and click finish. You will notice that the design was imported now from Mentor Graphics HTML Author. So what you can do now is you can do anything that you can use all the capabilities of Scineric Workspace, as you can build this with different vendor backends. You can package it, you can generate documentation for it, you can build up a version for this, etc. So I'm going to demonstrate the version history along with this demo. So I'm going to start off, let's just create a version to show you that. This is a first version, and we're going to click OK. Okay, we're starting now at version 1. Now what I want to show is how you're going to sync your design in HTML Author to your Scineric design. So I'm going to go and I'm going to delete all of these files. I'm just going to remove them from the design, not from the actual hard drive. And the design has been saved. So let's go back to HTML Author now, and we take out one of these example designs as well. So we remove things on both sides. When you can do that, I'm not going to do that for this demo, but you can add blocks here or remove blocks. Basically, when you compile this again and sync it to Scineric, Scineric will pick up the changes. So let me show that. I'm not going to change anything now. We know that we removed files in Scineric, so when we sync it, it should replace those files, put those files back for us. So what you can do now is you can click again on Scineric export button. Again, it will launch the import script. So what we're going to say is we're going to again say without the project, and we're going to import it. Now the important thing is to pick up that Scineric picked up there's already a design in this folder. So at the bottom you will see the target path is in red, and it will tell there's existing path and design in that path. This is one way to do it. You can also, the recommended way to do is to browse your repository to actually get your design, because you will notice that our current version over here is 0. So we want to get to the actual design. So we're going to browse our repository, and we will notice that the example design version 1, which is the one we just created, is selected over there. So when you click on that, it will disable all the fields and it will use the values in that design. So the important thing is to select how you want to go ahead. So there's 3 options here. You can manually merge your designs. You can do automatic merge, which is probably what you'll use the most of the time once you're familiar with this flow. Or you can enter the target directory and recreate it or overwrite the existing design. We're going to do a manual merge for the purposes of this demo, so we're going to go next. Again, we're not going to do anything in the preprocessor, we're going to use it as it is, and we're going to click on finish. You will notice that a new window popped up. This new window is the merge configuration. So we decided to do a manual merge, so we are doing the manual merge, and we can see what's going to happen before we do the actual merge. So if you go to the merge configuration, it will tell you which parts of your design will be merged. So if you look at the bottom, you will see a tree list of all the nodes in your design. And at the right bottom, you will see the configuration was recommended by Xilinx ISE parser. So the Xilinx ISE parser knows what it's expecting. It knows from HTML author you're only going to get the HTML files. Therefore, you will see that on the right side, only HTML is checked over here. That means that only the HTML files in the new design will stay the same, and you will use all the other files in your existing design. This is useful, for example, if you've run a couple of builds, or if you have constraint files or extra metadata surrounding your design, like a version history. You just want to replace the HTML designs or HTML files in this design. You don't want it to touch anything else. So this Xilinx ISE input parser configuration will automatically do that for you. And this view shows it, although it might be difficult to understand the first time. It will show you that all items will be merged except the HTML will stay the same. If you go back to merge, you can view the different designs. So design 1 is our current design, and design 2 you can also show, and this is the newly parsed design. Notice that this design has 29 files, and design 1, the existing design, has 23 files. So you will notice we removed 6 files. The new imported design, design 2 in this context, will replace those files for us. So if you go back to merge design preview, you can actually show a preview of this merge design. To give you a log, and if you go back to the merge design preview tab, you will see the full design. So in this case, you will see that all the files has been replaced. If you add different files underneath your other nodes, for example constraints, etc., as I've said before, those files will stay the same. Only the HTML design files will be replaced. So we are happy with this. We're going to click on OK. Notice that the design was closed and reopened. And also notice that you still have the version history. So we're going to step our version now, and you can click on Add Div. It will tell us it didn't change because we stepped earlier before we removed some files. So I'm going to step again just to demonstrate this version history. Okay, so this is our first import, or the first merge from HL author. Okay, here we go. Just to put some extra detail into this design, let's add a couple of files. So if you open the working folder of this design, we can add some dummy files, and then we can sync our design folder to that. Yes, so you'll notice that those files has been added at the bottom. And again, let's just remove all of these files in here to make it very clear. Okay, so our design looks like that at the moment. Important thing now is the moment when you step, it takes a capture of all the design files in your design. So we removed a bunch of things now. So when you click on the plus button again in version history and you go to add div, it will give you the details of what changed. So you will see all the files that we've added, all the files that we removed. If files changed, it will also give you indication of which file's contents actually changed. This is very powerful, and it allows you to design in an external environment and do your actual builds and version management on those type of things in Scineric. If you have comments about this, we would love to hear it. Thank you.